got you all here today, but I have to apologize for taking Ricky away from...
I'm missing it.
You're missing it.
Right, that's going on right now.
What is going on right now?
They might beat the Elite Four because they got rid of all their bad moves.
So what were some of the bad moves they had to get rid of?
Like Whirlwind, like I think that Eevee had a Tail Whip or something like that, or Espeon, whatever it is now. So they took an hour and a half of democracy, and they went to the move deleter, and they got rid of that.
We should rewind very, very far back here.
So we're talking about Twitch plays Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's the hip new phenomenon.
Everybody's there.
Well, how many people have you usually are playing at one time, or at least watching?
It was average 60 to 80,000 for 2 weeks. The finale was 100, and then after the finale, it just dropped because everyone was just so stressed out from it. But it was 80,000 average for like 2 weeks.
And this was the original, so they played, which one did they play? Red or...
I think they play Red, but they may have played a hacked version where all of them are there, but essentially Red version.
Okay, so they played the Red version in which people on Twitch could put in different like codes and things like that.
They could put an up, down, left, right, A, B, start, and the ROM would read that and turn it into button presses.
Just to be clear, like 80,000 on Twitch is crazy.
Yeah. Right.
We're happy to get over 1,000.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, people were posting. The thing that got me, people were posting images of what it would look like if this took place, as a live event. So think of any college football stadium and fill it to capacity.
Okay.
Now put one Game Boy with a giant screen, and everyone has those like America's Funniest Home Video like button things.
Nice, yeah. That's a good analogy. That's really good.
It's like burning them. Like people were leaving the stadium and coming in like in different sleep cycles, and it went on for like 2 weeks.
To me, Twitch Plays Pokemon is just like a mass of goodwill against a mass of trolls.
Right.
Yeah.
And just this
Trolls
tug of war.
chaos.
Yeah.
Right.
But the tug of war.
But you thought that's what it was going to be.
And then it pushed
it wasn't,
forward much
yeah.
faster than I thought.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Which
is what I love about it. I'm not a positive person. We all know this. I take Rust Cole's nihilism to an nth degree. But it was it's an incredible, enlightening thing of seeing people working towards the general good. Because it's like in the percentage of folks trying to make bad moves was, even in Anarchy mode, was so much less to some extent than those trying to do the right thing, trying to move the character forward.
Right. What's interesting is like, let's say 80 to 60% of the people were doing the right thing, and 20 to 30% were either messing up or just trying to blame it. There was a guy a couple days after he ended it, figured out his stream delay was a minute.
Oh, so every time he was putting an order in, it was always a minute beyond.
Yeah, and he was putting in orders the entire time.
Oh,
he said
poor
he was
guy.
so sorry. So that's the chaos part of it.
people playing this game. There is a story, there is a mythology, there's almost a religion that is sprung up.
Praise Helix.
Which is the other cool thing about it, yeah.
Praise Helix indeed.
So it started when they got the Helix fossil at Mountain Moon. And just through chaos, they ended up throwing away all their other items. So Helix fossil got moved to the top of their item list. So it was constantly trying to be selected during battles, in caves, like randomly. And so it became, we must consult the Helix fossil for what to do next. The Helix fossil knows all, save us Helix fossil. And eventually it became a religion because the Helix fossil was always...
You love it. You laugh.
I know. I think it's fantastic. It is literally watching man crawl out of darkness in a weird way. It's like they're forming their own, Greek or Roman mythology. This entire god system came into play, and then there was the really cool map thing of showing the adventure that had like all the different branches of the direction that they were moving. Yeah. It literally became like their history. I mean, it's this entire encased history of how names were created and how everything came about, and that's so fucking fascinating.
And we have the false prophet, which was the fire Eevee.
Yeah, because Eevee was supposed to become Vaporeon, and you were supposed to teach her Surf, and she would that's how you would have for the rest of the game. She didn't become Vaporeon. She became the Devil, aka Flareon, and two of their major Pokemon, including their starter, were released around the same time that happened. So the Flareon was the Devil and the companion of the Dome, which is the antithesis to the Helix fossil.
And it's so weird. It's like it's all jokey,
Yeah.
but we all love it in the way that just like humans love. I mean, religions exist to make sense of like this
Organize, yeah. to-
equally chaotic world
to organize,
that we
to
live
organize
in.
our thoughts and give us kind of like a path to say, okay,
Completely.
this is what's right.
So the stories, the art that's come
Yeah.
out of here has been ridiculous. Have you been able to peruse?
Ricky was well, and again, Ricky. It's awkward. It's like if this was considered, if this religion formed, Ricky would have been our bishop or our pope,
Like a scribe or
of the
something.
scribe of,
yeah.
of this sect of
Yeah.
that religion,
And
and
then-
so we would continually check in at his desk to see what was going on, and you would then layeth out thine tales of past, and completely go, well, this happened and this happened, and half the shit I have no idea what you're saying because I don't play Pokemon, which makes
Right.
no sense as to why I'm here then. But but then it's like you'll show us like the latest artwork, and you would show us the all the different stuff that people are posting.
Right.
And we became kind of our own weird mini cult in an odd way, our own mini sect of worshippers
The House of Pokemon.
Yeah, the House of Pokemon. We worshipped at the altar, but we didn't partake. We were the one
Right.
taking in the sermons
Right.
and then passing on the stories to
Right.
others who would then come to join us for the next sermon.
The best story, one of the best, happened at the very end was when ATV, All-Terrain Venomoth, defeated Dragonite, and he became Venomoth the Dragon Slayer. And then you went back, and someone posted why he was able to do that. Is because in Gen 1, it's programmed to always use super effective moves if they have it, even if they don't do any damage. So Venomoth was poison, Psychic beats poison, and Dragonite had Barrier and Agility, which were Psychic. So even though they did no damage, the game kept doing those moves, and eventually poison killed the Dragonite.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
And they
That's-
all have tales like that.
Yeah.
Like, Bird Jesus constantly was the last bastion of hope for their
Right.
team.
But then Bird Jesus also, it's a fluke that Bird Jesus got his name in that way
Right.
because when the name was entered, it was just random people throwing in keys, right?
Yeah. All
So-
the names are totally random.
And there was
too.
like JSS was in there or
Yeah,
something like
at the
that.
very end.
And then by luck,
By luck.
yeah, Bird Jesus actually in an awkward way became one of their saviors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this could have happened with any other game. I think Pokemon has so many unique qualities that really just lent themselves to this thing. The way that Pokemon is about capturing monsters and having this particular monster be your monster, I think is so important to why this worked.
Yeah.
You know, if we're all playing Zelda, we're playing the same Link.
Right. It's
Right.
a strong foundation that has many varieties to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Is it recorded or is it just like so? Is this entire history recorded or was it just witnessed and that was it?
I believe people have recorded it on their own computers
Okay.
and uploaded it to YouTube.
Okay, so there are chunks out there that exist, but Twitch
Yeah.
itself, there's not like
I don't
a
think Twitch records it. I don't think it has the 16 days of footage.
right? Okay.
Right.
I realized that this was the first time that this had ever happened, and that it was happening right then. The other thing I realized was that the chat was such an important part of watching an event. So when I went home, I just turned it on. And when I heard them go into the power plant, the music changed. And I was like, oh shit. They're in the power plant.
Yeah, yeah.
And like 30 minutes later, I was watching the live stream and like the live updates, and I was like, we're in the same room as Zapdos. Zapdos is on the screen. And what they did, they went up to Zapdos, they kind of went around it a little bit. Too intimidated, I
Yeah,
guess.
scoping it out like this.
Yeah, just like, all right.
Yeah.
And then they
exactly,
and then they
sure,
went for it.
sure.
And the chat was it was an anarchy. But everyone watching was so in unison that so very slowly they went down to item, they press A, and they literally went item after item trying to use it. And Oak was like, you can't use that now. And they actually went past Master Ball.
Oh.
And no one was pressing B this whole time?
No.
Wow.
And then they went past it, and they managed to go back up to Master Ball, and they used it. And that's how they caught it. And it was just like, how many people could have pressed B and right and A and ran away from Zapdos? So
Yeah.
many, but again, 95% of people are pressing the right button.
Right.
Odds are.
That's a lot of positivity going towards
Yeah.
wanting to accomplish a single goal.
Yeah,
Right.
it was.
That's great.
But the thing that I think demonstrates the best part about Twitch plays and the interactive storytelling was Bloody Sunday, which was when they caught Zapdos, but he got sent to the PC. So they had to use Anarchy to get Zapdos out of the PC because he was so valuable. They lost, I think over the span of 2 to 3 hours, 12 Pokemon. They released 12 Pokemon in that time. 2 of them were in their team. And just the amount of people who were freaking out before they got Zapdos out, it just showed how attached that we had become these characters, and the fact that we made them.
Right.
Not one single person invented Bird Jesus.
Right.
We did. And like Rick Ghastly too. Hilarious nickname. He's still in the daycare. He's like level 60 now. But that was the day that showed like how stricken like people could get from like losing Pokemon that they'd love, which include Farfetch'd, which included Digrat too.
I feel like "Oh Christ" is a good line to end on.
Yeah.
It's so good.
No, I mean appropriate line to end on. Praise Helix.
Praise Helix.
That's the appropriate line.